growing up, I literally used to think Superman was boring. So when I found out about this film, I was very open to be proven wrong. I was like, you know, I'm I'm willing to be wrong. And for context, I'm normally into the more dark, gritty type films. Like I really like The Dark Knight, the Batman. The Batman, in my opinion, even after this film, in my opinion, The Batman is the best looking superhero film ever. Like it looks incredible. I love the shadows, the detail, the texture that's there. I just love that. So the aesthetic of the Superman film was very different to what I'm normally into. For reference, the film that inspired The Dark Knight is called Heat, and in that film they use a lot of telephoto lenses, and I really like that look. But in Superman, I mean, as you probably can see, they use a lot of wide angle lenses and stuff like that. So it's not really my usual style I'm into, but I was very open to just having my mind changed and just being like, yo, if you can prove that Superman is interesting, I'm open to that. Going into the film, I even watched a few videos from people who were Superman fans because genuinely, I didn't really understand it. I was like, why is this man interesting? I mean, he kind of has no struggles. He just came to Earth. He's got like a perfect family. He was raised well. He pretty much can't die. He doesn't really go through anything. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like One Punch Man, but more boring to me. I'm like, okay, so I watched this film with a friend, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I can say I can respect the character now. Like, Spider Man, I had respect for. Batman, I had respect for. Iron Man, I had respect for. The Hulk, I had respect for. Because they've all got their own struggles and it's interesting. But Superman, it's like, it's not in. It wasn't interesting. But now I get it. Now they made it very interesting. And for me to explain more, I'm going to have to get into spoilers. So here's your spoiler warning. Essentially, the plot twist was so good. So they made it. They wrote it in a way where Superman's parents are evil, like what do you call them, kryptonites or whatever they are. They're like an evil race, or maybe not evil, but like they're really into like overtaking other races, kind of like colonizing. Do you know what I mean? They're really into that in a twisted way. Like it's normal to them, but to us it's twisted. It's over the top. Do you know what I'm saying? It's awful. And knowing that about his bloodline, about his family, it does make his kindness a lot more powerful because it's not like kryptonites are typically good people, at least from what we know about his parents. So knowing how he has grown up to be, it just makes him a lot more respectable as a person. Like, okay, you've chosen to be good. And the fact that he was disgusted by it a little bit, he could have went along with it. It could have been like, yo, this is what I was born to do. I'm gonna dominate you guys. But nah, like he was very much ashamed. And one thing that, I mean, I don't really cry in general, but man, I I almost cried with this one, was when his reputation was destroyed. Everyone thought he was some weird colonizer that was meant to conquer everyone, take everyone's wife, that type of thing. And like all he cared about was the dog. Like his reputation was shattered and all he could think about was the dog. You know that clip they posted of Superman. I mean, the clip kind of looks like Superman's having a little tantrum about the dog, like a little kid. It's not the best look when you have the clip by itself, but in the context of the film, bro, I almost cried. I was like, bro, everyone thinks you're like a dictator or something, Like you're gonna take everyone's wife. Do you know what I'm saying? Hide your wife, hide your kids. Superman's here, that type of thing. And you care so much about the dog, like because they played a video from Superman's parents showing that he's essentially meant to be some dominator of the human race, take 100 wives, that type of thing. And they played it for everyone to see, and his reputation's tarnished. And when he goes to find Lex Luthor, all he can think about is the dog, and how the dog is alone, and he was alone in that moment because no one trusts him anymore. I was like, wow, he's really a selfless person. So that made me respect the character a lot. I was like, wow. And I do think I've kind of stolen this from another video that I watched before the film. But one thing that does make Superman interesting and respectable is how he has the ability to destroy everyone, but he doesn't. So there's a scene where you see it in the trailer. It's actually quite a nice shot. It's like where Superman's just triggered, like he's angry, and he could go for it. Like he could go for absolute bloodbath based off that. He could absolutely destroy people and just demolish them. He could be like Homelander and just go crazy, but he doesn't do that. He controls his anger. He's not emotionless. He's not like super stoic, but he's also not controlled by his emotions, which is something I think when it comes to masculinity, people don't really understand. Like it's okay to have emotions as a man, but you shouldn't be controlled by your emotions. They shouldn't rule over you. You have them, but they shouldn't control you. So like he has an emotion of frustration. He could take out that frustration and go in an absolute bloodbath and kill 100 people and be like, I'll show you. He could do that. He has the power to do that. It's not explicitly shown in the film, but it's kind of. I mean, we know he could kill people. We know he would never, but we know. And the fact that he chooses not to is far more respectable. The fact that he has the capacity to do evil and chooses not to is far more respectable than him just being some angel in a cape, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just far more cool and interesting. It's like, okay, you choose to be good. And it's actually inspiring as well to men. Like, even if you feel a certain way, even though you are powerful, still choose to be good. You can probably hear my belly if you heard that. Still choose to be good, you know? Um, so yeah, man, he changed my mind. Superman's interesting. I still, considering this is the first piece of content's the wrong word, material that from Superman that I've liked. Like was saying, it's still slightly outside of the style I'm into. Do you know what I mean? Like stylistically, I like Man of Steel, but I don't fully support what James Gunn is doing. To be honest with you, um, I su- I support what he's trying to build, the world he's trying to build. I think it's cool. I think his version of Batman's going to be interesting as well. Even though, like I said, I absolutely love what Matt Reeves is doing. Amazing. I'm so glad they can do both. Cause like the light-hearted side of Batman, I think that's interesting to see, but we don't need that in the Matt Reeves films. We don't need that, but you can show that in the other ones. That's cool. Um, so yeah, what I'm trying to say is, I would say I still like other superheroes more, but I've seen more material with those superheroes that I like. So, for example, I like Iron Man more, but I've seen more films with Iron Man in them Do you get it? Do you know what I'm saying? I would say that Iron Man, regarding making me care for a character, I would say Iron Man is better because there's just so much respect for Iron Man at the end of that film, like, or at the end of his overall journey from Iron Man to Endgame. There's so much respect, but I do think it's Superman's first film. Somebody did say that it's weird how Superman could only win a fight when he had help. Ten, I'd have to watch it again to see if that's true. I do think I can't remember if he had help with every single fight. I think he won against Ultraman by himself, but he might have had help from Crypto. I can't remember. I do think it's like young Superman, which I think a lot of people miss. It's Superman 3 years into being a superhero. So it's kind of like Superboy ish. Obviously, he's a fully grown man, but it's like he's not the full boss Superman yet. So he's still gonna grow into that boss leader Superman. He's still kind of, super dude. Do you know what I'm saying? He's gonna become Superman soon, but right now he's super dude. It's kind of like the Tom Holland films. A lot of people were saying he feels like he's Spider Boy, and it's true. He did feel like Spider Boy rather than Spider Man. But after, what was it called again? No Way Home. It felt like, okay, he's become Superman now. Like the story arc is here. It made perfect sense. I was like, yo, you actually redeemed yourselves as writers. Like you made it work. And I think it's similar for this. Like he may not be, even if you wanted more from Superman, like boss Superman, like dominant Superman, I do think he held his own. He was at like 80% power or whatever in the film. But I do think over time, especially as they're gonna introduce more characters, do a sequel, get the Justice League going, you're gonna see he's gonna have more years under his belt and he's gonna be more of a boss Superman, do you know what I mean? If that even is a thing. I forgot to mention I didn't grow up reading the comics for Superman, so I'm very much aware that my disinterest in the character, at least up until this film, isn't really justified. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't really justify it, but I'm just saying like I grew up thinking it was boring. The cartoons I used to watch with Superman, it was just simple stuff, like very nice stuff. I respect animators 100%, but story wise, I was bored. But this was cool. This was cool. People do say Mr. Terrific had more aura, as the young kids say, or was just more cool, more dominant, and like it's true. Like it's true. They're probably gonna give him a solo film, which is fine. I don't really know who he is outside of this film. I've never heard of him. I'm just happy for that actor to get another role because in X-Men they just killed him, and I was like, okay, cool. But I'm just glad he's got another role. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm convinced like Superman's okay. Like, yeah, I'd watch the sequel, not a problem. I did like Superman and Lois growing up. I did like that, but that's more of a Clark Kent thing, not really a Superman thing. Like, when it comes to that, I was more invested in the whole Clark Kent and Lois thing. But Superman as a hero, I didn't care, bro. But not, do I say I care? I'm interested and I have respect. Care is a strong word because it's a fictional character for one, but I have respect and I'm intrigued for what's next. So, great job, James Gunn. Amazing. And yeah, man. I would say a lot of the action scenes are very rewatchable, and you very much are rewarded for watching it in IMAX as well. So yeah, great work, man. You gave us some cinema. Very good.